This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup. Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8 on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Do better. That's the message family of murder victim Charles Richard Lacey has for the Guam Police Department. I'm Jonagan Charfus, and coming up tonight, family learning details about the case for the first time during Tuesday's press conference.
As efforts continue to return to public school communities to their campuses, student athletes are caught in the middle as education officials and the community find ways to get them back on the court and onto the field.
The Guam Department of Agriculture and Anderson Air Force Base entering into a historic agreement to better manage the stray animal population across the island. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the details coming up.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Well, the Guam Police Department has arrested Jesse Rickson Augustine for the 2024 murder of Charles Richard Lacey. The announcement came during a press conference Tuesday, a press conference where Lacey's own family learned disturbing new details about the case for the first time. Jonagan Charfus has tonight's top story.
The family of Charles Richard Eugene Lacey is heartbroken, not just over his murder, but over how they learned he was a victim. Brenda Lacey Adams, Lacey's sister, who lives in Washington State, says she found out during Tuesday's Guam Police Department press conference, the same way the public did. She was at work watching KUAM's live stream on Facebook when the confirmation was made. The family had been waiting for months. On November 1st, 2024, GPD responded to a burning body found along FAA Road in Dededo. Days later, on November 8th, they released images of tattoos, hoping someone could identify the victim. It was Lacey's ex-girlfriend who saw KUAM's story and shared it with the family. His son recognized the tattoos. That same day, they contacted GPD.
We contacted them then, and we've been in contact with them since. And every single time, even we just ask, is it him? They won't tell us.
The family did not know for certain it was Lacey until Tuesday's GPD press conference. She says that the family had their suspicions it was their loved one, but without the notification, there was that ounce of hope. They also asked for details about how he died. Brenda says the last time she messaged a detective was April 22nd and never got a response.
We were hoping, that, and it sounds mean or whatever, but we were hoping he was shot or something first before they set him on fire, because that's probably one of the worst ways to be killed. I can't imagine the pain he went through.
Although she admits her brother was far from perfect and battled his demons.
Nobody deserves what happened to him.
Her message to Chief Stephen Ignacio and detectives?
They need to do better. They need to make sure the family is aware before, their press conference should not override the family knowing first. I'm happy they caught him. Good. Let the justice, proceed and his fate be given to him. But we should have been told.
KUAM reached out to GPD to provide a statement, who said they have no additional comments. Jonagan Charfus, KUAM News.
Now to an update to a violent workplace incident involving officers from the Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division. KUAM News has confirmed that one of the sergeants involved has been terminated following an internal investigation into the February altercation at GPD's Tizan headquarters. Sources close to the case say the conflict began over an office space dispute when a police officer 3 asked the sergeant when he planned to relocate. Now, that question reportedly triggered a violent outburst. The sergeant allegedly threatened to shoot the officer, prompting a second sergeant to step in and de-escalate. But the situation turned physical, resulting in punches, a flask being used as a weapon, and another officer getting kicked while trying to intervene. GPD Chief Stephen Ignacio told KUAM earlier this month that the officers were reassigned and back on duty pending the outcome of the investigation. Well, the Superior Court judge has awarded $500,000 in damages to a man injured by a drunk school bus driver. Darren Bernardo was struck by a Department of Public Works school bus on March 4, 2023. The driver, Roy Joseph Quintanilla, was later charged with vehicular negligence and driving while impaired. He entered a guilty plea under a deferred plea agreement. Superior Court Judge Elise Iriarte granted Bernardo the maximum $500,000 allowed under the Government Claims Act, despite damages and losses calculated at more than $850,000. Bernardo's claim included medical costs, vehicle damage, lost wages, and projected loss of future earnings. The government admitted liability and the court proceeded with the damages phase earlier this year. Judge Iriarte has given Bernardo time to notify the court if he intends to pursue claims against other individual defendants named in the suit. Well, the new bill could mark a turning point in how Guam holds sexual predators accountable. Lawmakers are considering Bill 33, a measure that would close long-standing gaps in the law to better protect teens from sexual abuse. Nevaeh Anderson has the details.
Per 100,000 people in Guam, there are 64.2 reported rapes. That's nearly 2.5 times the national rate, according to statistics from the University of Guam's Violence Against Women Prevention Program. For bill author Vice Speaker Tony Atta, it's the driving force behind Bill 33. The measure expands the scope of Guam's first and second degree criminal sexual conduct laws, which currently offer stronger protections only to children aged 13 and under.
Guam's children need the protection of our laws to ensure that their homes are safe and that would-be sex offenders do not abuse their position of authority to victimize their children.
Perpetrators who target 14 and 15-year-olds and who are in positions of trust, power, or access could now face the most serious charges. This includes teachers, foster care providers, government employees, family members, or even those dating someone in the child's household. The Attorney General's office voicing their support.
The AG's office supports this legislation to strengthen our criminal sexual conduct laws and to better protect our people of Guam.
But it's not just about updating the law. Supporters say the bill also sends a message that Guam is ready to confront the growing role of substance abuse in these cases.
Meth is destroying the families. The next generation is being destroyed.
Jane Flores, director of the Bureau of Women's Affairs, telling lawmakers that prevention efforts, including education and awareness, must be part of the solution.
Awareness efforts do work in that they help to empower potential victims, because the more we empower a person, the more opportunity they have to protect themselves against sexual assault.
Assistant Attorney General Christine Tenorio also backing the bill, saying clearer definitions of relationships between abusers and victims will prevent future cases from slipping through the cracks in court.
I'm also the appellate attorney for criminal sexual conduct, so I have to go before the Supreme Court and argue definitions all the time and argue what the legislature intended. And so by more clearly delineating these relationships under this bill, it would enable me to prosecute more easily.
With 11 co-sponsors signed on in support of this legislation, there is hope for Bill 33's passing. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Well, Monday night's education town hall sparked passionate community input as two displaced school communities shed light on how their lack of campus affects student athletics. Here's more. Not having a place to call home court is proving to be a tough loss for student athletes at Simon Sanchez High, who are still without a campus to call their own. The issue trickling down to the single gym in Jigo, which is becoming increasingly harder to score as juggling the needs of outside leagues and school teams becomes a balancing act. Senator Chris Barnett.
I was in receipt of some concerns from the Simon Sanchez volleyball team. I know Mayor's aware of this. So yes, they had been practicing up at the Jigo Gymnasium, and then they were informed that there was a league starting, so they weren't going to be able to use the Jigo gym for practice anymore.
Ethan Cruz with the Jigo Mayor's office explaining the league had confirmed the space before Sanchez's request and even agreed to move some of its practice days. Still, Cruz looking to find middle ground, bringing this play to Monday's education town hall.
to see if there was a way to partition off or utilize either FB or Simon Sanchez's gymnasium to help ease the load of the indoor sports.
But the Guam Department of Education says that's just not a playable option, since Sanchez doesn't have an active sanitary permit prohibiting anyone from the campus.
I'm not saying anything about any mayor, but we got to support these kids. You know, Simon Sanchez students, they're going through enough already. And so if anything, they should be able to use the facilities, you know, in Jigo, hopefully, or Dedido. But I mean, we're already putting these kids through so much, and I don't understand what the issue is with finding them a place to practice volleyball.
It's a similar issue students at FB Leon Guerrero Middle School are facing too, as they continue on a double session schedule at Ukadu High School. FBLG Principal Alyssa Moffness.
We appreciate that the mayor is helping us, but at the same token, where else can we go?
The Simon Sanchez rebuild is currently in active procurement, while FBLG's refurbishment remains in a 45-day timeout, pending resolution over American Rescue Plan funding. Meantime, Senator Chris Barnett confirms that the Estumbo Gym in Dedido has made room for the Sanchez volleyball team.
Well, Guam's delegate to Congress is urging the U.S. Small Business Administration to restore operations at its Guam branch. In a letter to SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler, Delegate James Moylan expressed concern over the recent closure of the local office following nationwide staffing cuts. The shutdown came after the agency laid off 43% of its workforce last month, impacting Guam's only remaining SBA staff member, Kenneth Lujan. Moylan called the Guam office a, quote, lifeline for the island's economic recovery, especially after COVID-19 and Typhoon Mawar. He warned that shifting responsibilities to the Hawaii office could delay assistance and limit access to essential services for local businesses. While he supports cost-cutting efforts, Moylan stressed the importance of having on-island representation to support Guam's small business community. Well, the Department of Revenue and Taxation has received reports of a scam involving the Easy Pass lane, a commonly used service used in the collection of fees for toll roads, bridges, and tunnels in certain parts of the United States. Now, Guam does not have tollways or charge any sort of fee for driving on its roadways. DRT also notes they do not communicate with taxpayers over text message, nor does it ever demand fees and transaction payments through that mode. The community is advised to ignore and delete such messages. Well, the legislature will be called into session on Thursday, May 1st at 8 a.m. in the Guam Congress building. The State of the Judiciary address by the Honorable Chief Justice Robert J. Torres will follow at 9 a.m. KUAM will be streaming the address live on our Facebook page. Well, time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Everything we build is from the ground up. Every great idea, every crazy idea, every next idea, every truck, and everything in it. Everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel when you drive it. We put everything we have into our trucks, so you get everything out of them. We're Ram. Trucks are what we do.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Bye. wish they could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon? Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Fiscal Fitness is made possible by our partner, Coast 360 Federal Bank.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, it's that time of the week where our friends over at Coast 360 drop some knowledge, and tonight they are talking about analyzing and reducing living expenses.
Howdy, everybody. Fiscal Fitness is coming to you once again from Coast 360 here. We are in Mighty. I'm Jason Salas, and I have my friends Lisa and Andrew with Coast 360. We are talking now about cleaning house, reducing living expenses. So Lisa, what are some of the more tech-savvy people these days using to track expenses, plan them, and actually see what we're spending?
You know, there are so many apps available out there, spreadsheets, Excel, and like you said, old school, pen and paper. So regardless of what form you utilize, it really just depends on the individual.
So the format itself is kind of like irrelevant as long as you're aware and you have some sort of record.
Yes. If you like old school, writing it down on a pen and paper, and you know you can consistently do that every single day, then do that method. If you like putting it on your phone or tracking it on your computer on an Excel spreadsheet, then do that. It's what you can do consistently.
There we go. And Andrew, we've talked a lot in this series about setting your priorities and having goals, and objective-based saving was our last topic. How can we actually differentiate now between what are expenses are truly essential and which ones are maybe a little bit more splurgy?
All right, so essentials are anything that you need. Non-essential is anything that you want. So when it comes to your needs, definitely food, shelter, water. So your rent, your power bill, your water bill, these are all essentials.
These are inarguable.
These are inarguable.
Can I cheat a little bit, maybe take myself out to have a nice dinner every once in a while?
Of course, but have it on a schedule, If you're doing it on a Saturday, perfect. But if you're doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it could get a little bit out of hand.
Jason, that's a really great question to ask, because a budget and savings, it's what's important to you. What do I value? So if you enjoy going out to eat, then put it in your budget. A budget is a tool that you can utilize to help you get to your goals. And if part of eating out and enjoying the food and enjoying the company that you're with, then put it in your budget and maybe you cut back in other areas.
Okay, so let's talk about reductions, since we're talking about cutting back on common things, and Andrew was even talking about what is truly essential as far as saving on gas costs, groceries, reading materials, school supplies, clothing, like that. How can we actually responsibly, again, really reduce it to our better financial health?
So you really want to take a look at what you're spending on and be mindful, be intentional with your spending. So that way, if I can cut out areas of I don't need to spend on those subscriptions to Netflix, I can cut back on that. Look for savings in the grocery budget, maybe buying the store brand, maybe buying in bulk, cooking your food in bulk, turning off the lights, the air conditioning. Look for ways where you can cut back and be creative.
And here at Coast 360, you guys have a LEED certified facility. So I mean, you guys are making really, really good, decisions when it comes to lighting and environmentally safe materials.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, this is wonderful, wonderful information, and we hope you've enjoyed listening to the wonderful information that my friends Andrew and Lisa and Derek have shared with you all month long. Guys, we really appreciate you helping Guam to be fiscally fit.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thank you.
Fiscal Fitness is made possible by our partner, Coast 360.
Well, in other news, President Donald Trump has more than 1,360 days left in office, but it is the first 100 days being scrutinized tonight. The pluses and minuses, the promises kept and the promises not kept.
Tonight, President Trump marking 100 days of his second term here in Michigan with his first rally since returning to office.
You finally have a president who is defending our borders and our nation.
It comes amid a new dust-up over the president's trade war. A source familiar with the matter telling NBC News President Trump called Amazon founder Jeff Bezos this morning to express his displeasure after a report, citing an anonymous source, that America's largest online retailer would begin displaying how much Trump's tariffs are adding to the price of imported items.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years?
Amazon quickly disputed the report, saying this was never approved and not going to happen.
Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly, and he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
The ongoing turmoil over tariffs fueling what polls show is growing dissatisfaction about the president's economic agenda 100 days in, including sparking sharp drops on Wall Street. Still, the White House tonight is touting its success on a key campaign promise, restoring border security, with illegal crossings plummeting 95% in March compared to a year ago under President Biden.
The Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, but it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
But the president's crackdown on illegal immigration has also ignited an array of legal challenges over due process. Then there's candidate Trump's vow on inflation.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
Overall, inflation is dropping, but grocery prices are rising. Here in Michigan, it's the economy that prompted Lauren Maxwell, a first-time voter and community college student, to back Trump.
He promised a few things about groceries, making sure things are affordable, and I haven't seen it happen yet.
Maxwell tells us she now has regrets about her vote.
If you could tell the president one thing on behalf of people like you, what would it be?
It would be to have more compassion, a little more empathy for the decisions he's making and the people that they affect.
We also met Misty Robinette, a lifelong Democrat and longtime union auto worker who voted for Trump.
How's the president done?
He's done good.
But she has short-term concerns about his tariffs.
The prices of cars going skyrocket to where people can't afford them.
You say in the long run it's got to happen.
It does have to happen. We need more jobs here in America.
Her message to the president's critics, give him more time.
If you could vote for Donald Trump again?
500%. I would. I would. He's what we need.
Now to a historic partnership between the military and a local government agency that aims to strengthen stray animal management across the island. Mitsuki Hirayama has the details.
The Andersen Air Force Base recently signed its first ever intergovernmental support agreement with the Guam Department of Agriculture. The partnership aims to strengthen stray animal management across the island, inside and outside the fence. Territorial veterinarian Dr. Mariana Turner says the landmark agreement was spearheaded by 36th Wing Commander Brigadier General Thomas Polensky.
He's a very passionate wing commander for Andersen Air Force Base, and he's been a very big supporter of all of our animal control efforts.
The 36th Wing will provide vital equipment, personnel, logistical support, and educational outreach to supplement local stray animal control operations. In turn, Agriculture's Animal Health Division will lend their knowledge and skills.
As we know, here in animal health, our animal control officers, very limited personnel, very limited funding for equipment and things like that. So General Polensky was willing to say, hey, let's enter this into this agreement so that we can all work together to solve this problem.
Of note, Turner says service members abandoning animals as a PCS has been an ongoing issue, one that Polensky has been working to address.
There have been people that have been unable to or unwilling to take their animals off island with them. And sometimes they do abandon them right outside of game. Sometimes they even just leave them at the home that they were at, just in a gated, within the gated fence, and our animal control officers have had to pick those up.
In one case that KUAM reported in October, 6 puppies drowned and died overnight after a visiting U.S. Navy sailor left them outside the Jigo Animal Shelter during a storm. An order instilled by Polensky reminds service members at Anderson that animal abandonment, neglect, and abuse is against the law, and breaking them comes with consequences.
And put a mechanism in place to be able to potentially impose disciplinary action for those that were not following those orders. So it's been relatively successful, and there have been cases where people, have attempted to abandon animals, and then they face disciplinary action.
Meantime, the hope is to have similar agreements with Camp Laws and Naval Base, especially with some 5,000 Marines expected to relocate to Guam.
These partnerships are so wonderful because it really starts to bridge that gap between military and locals, right? Because it's always kind of like, they've got their fenced-in borders, but it allows them to be, more integrated with our community, which creates stronger bonds so that we can all move together forward.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Well, are you looking for a way to start your weekend off right? Well, why not enjoy some theater? And after performing across the Hawaiian Islands, Teatro Productions is bringing their latest work, Nothing Micro, about Micronesia, to the University of Guam Fine Arts Theater. For over 25 years, Teatro has partnered with communities across the U.S., creating original plays rooted in the stories of immigrants and refugees. And Teatro's artistic directors Leilani Chan and Ova Sopeng are continuing that legacy with this play. Actors Stephanie Kamba and Kialalu Faifili share how the play builds off of their previous pieces.
Nothing Micro Micronesia is really diving deeper because once the community was able to see the show, they felt there was more to share, especially particularly around the policing of Micronesian youth in Oahu and the discrimination that's happening as more people come for medical relief and more people come for education and because of climate change,
Kamba emphasizing that this performance is an offering not just to Micronesians, but to the entire Pacific Islander community.
Because this is not just for us to display art, but for us to engage in a meaningful exchange with each other that makes a lasting impact.
I had hesitated on taking the part of Soso because I'm not Micronesian, but when I opened up to one of our cast members about it, she said it was important as a Polynesian for me to play this role so I could unite the Polynesian and Micronesian communities. It wasn't until I was a part of this play that my eyes had been opened to the discrimination and racism towards Micronesians on Oahu in Hawaii.
Absolutely. So Nothing Micro about Micronesia is going to be showing at University of Guam Theater, and it will be Friday at 7 p.m., Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. You can purchase tickets at Guam Time.
Again, for tickets, go to guamtime.net. Well, let's now move to business headlines as a regional telecommunications leader has proactively bumped up its customers to make their online transactions seamless and speedy. Here's Jason Salas with the details.
If you happen to be a home internet subscriber of Docomo Pacific on Guam and in the CNMI, the telecom company silently made a big network change sometime last week that has a major impact on your online experience.
All our existing customers are able to experience these new speeds at no additional cost. So if you're an existing customer of Docomo Pacific today, internet customer of ours today, you can receive all these new speeds, faster speeds at no additional cost today. And it's something that we also have a promo for new customers.
Without any additional infrastructure modifications on your end, you'll now have faster connections and downstream speeds, with Docomo's tiered plans being bumped up to insanely fast rates.
Because we're using our existing infrastructure, our existing HFC infrastructure, this is something that's widely available on Guam and in Saipan.
Docomo was able to achieve is to be the first to bring up to 1 gigabit island-wide service to both Guam and the CNMI. We're able to do this by investing and performing upgrades on the existing network. And it's not only for waiting, say customers who are waiting for fiber to be pulled to their homes, we can deliver this now.
Now there's no sign-up process for existing customers. The switch was flipped on to speeds already and running on the existing coaxial cable already going into your home.
Customers want to know if it's available to them, right? Because when we launched our fiber internet, that was in very targeted areas, right? We're still building our fiber internet or our fiber infrastructure. But with our HFC network, if you had our legacy TV, our legacy cable TV, you already have coax in your home. And if you don't already have internet, then it's already available to you. So you can get it instantly.
The use cases for high-end, as fast as gigabit speeds include low-latency gaming, 4K streaming without buffering, and multi-user video calls, all with multiple users simultaneously within the same household.
Our people are seeing a lot more responsiveness when they're browsing, loading videos, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix. Just their total experience is just a lot better.
So by upscaling the network, even without much initial fanfare, the move has already produced positive feedback.
I still have HFC. I don't have fiber yet. And every time I run a speed test and I'm seeing that 950, 980, right? Because you're only able to get up to a gig, depending on what you're connected to, right? So I'm running this on Wi-Fi and I'm receiving about 950 megabits per second every time I hit it.
So we wanted to make sure when we did announce we are doing this island-wide for Guam and the CNMI that it was going to be seamless, it was going to be a good product. We want to provide the very best service to our customers.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view of Maso River.
Introducing GTA Air Fiber. Air Fiber uses next-gen wireless technology to bring an ultra-fast and super reliable internet connection to your home through the air. No wires required. With speeds of up to 500 megabits per second that cable and satellite can't match. Now, the whole family can stream, game, download, and surf the web like never before. Elevate your connection with GTA Air Fiber. Call us or visit gta.net today.
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Plines hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual PIN code gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Hafiday, my name is Dave Tidinko, and I'm president of Valley of Galati. Happy Soil and Water Stewardship Week. Clean rivers carry life across our island. Everything we do is water. Let's keep our rivers clean for our families, our farms, and our future. Home is where the habitat is. Let's care for it together. Si Diyos Masi.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! big three. Oh, baby!
Can somebody please help me judge this chicken?
Juicy, seasoned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hair.
Now, who you think made this?
I don't know who cooked it, but they know how to cook.
Boom! Oh, McDonald's! Yes!
Are you serious? You don't like Mickey D's? Okay.
Guess what? I got something special for y'all. Double dip!
Cause that nods mean people who love McCrispy strips.
How you feeling now? Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
McCrispy strips, man, from Mickey D's. They here for it.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Ah, thanks, Taco Bell!
Tally ho, everybody. All right, News Bite today I'm dedicating to my boys, Vic, Mitch, and Jake. They're standing right off camera and everything, but you know, we got 3 cool guys on our staff, 3 amazing events. All right, here's the first one. Summer Math Research Program. If you like numbers and you like analysis, you like interpretation, take your math game to the next level. That seniors and graduates, sophomores and juniors, underclassmen, you're invited to, so make sure to scan the QR codes and get invited with that. All right, Raider Rally. Raiders! All right, if you went to St. Anthony, if you go to St. Anthony, if you're from St. Anthony, make sure to check this out because at the Micronesia Mall, they're going to have this amazing event. They're going to show their robotics team. They're going to show their choir, all of the wonderful performances. Starlight is a absolutely mind-blowing performance by the kids over there, so make sure to get involved with that and support St. Anthony. It's a really, really good school. All right, and Mad Collab is coming up, so we want you to prepare to go to be amazed. This is going to be on May 3rd. That's this weekend, everybody. It's going to be downtown. Make sure to get your tickets at guamtime.net. Too many collabs to mention here, but just the sheer volume of them is amazing. And you know what's amazing? You are. And so are these events on News Bites. So just bring them together. Have a good time. Hey everybody, only one birthday shout out today, and you know what? That's totally cool when you have a shout out this amazing. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to Becky Stevenson, and the shout out says, to the mom of my heart. That is wonderful. That is incredible. Becky, we hope you have an absolutely fantastic day from children who absolutely love you. So happy birthday to you, Miss Becky. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful. Half a day and welcome to the hub where America's stories begin. I'm Nevaeh Anderson, and this week we're taking you east of the Marianas as United Airlines and the Guam Visitors Bureau launch the new direct flight between Guam and Taipei. So let's go to Taipei.
This is a journey that's been in the making for a long time. It's not just about travel. It's more about progress, partnership. This is something that our people have been looking forward to. Like I said, not just because it'll again recover our tourism, but because of all the many opportunities we can have and the stronger opportunities and access to Taiwan's expertise, Taiwan's professionalism, Taiwan's industry, Taiwan's investment with us. Thank you everybody, United Airlines, the airport, GVB, for making this day a reality.
It looks like we're just about ready to board, so come along with us for the journey, and next time you'll see us, we'll be touched down in Taipei. Adios!
It's been 5 years since United had a regular flight schedule between the two islands, and everyone is eager to have it back. Taiwan is teeming with untapped memory-making potential from hiking, biking, hot springs, shopping, and eating great food. And for us on Guam, it offers us a unique blend of familiar island lifestyle and a whole new frontier to explore. So after a smooth 4-hour flight, we landed at the Taoyuan International Airport, where we were greeted by members of the GVB Taiwan office. From there, we loaded into our vans and started our 45-minute drive into the city. Once we arrived and checked into our rooms at the Grand Hyatt Taipei, we sat down for a delicious lunch with the GVB and United team.
So this new route is all about connecting two dots, two islands in the Pacific. Most beautiful islands, Taipei and Guam. What we offer is that we operate in the preferred daytime flight. You a little bit early to depart from Guam, but once you get here, you have a whole day to enjoy culture, history, and food. The last thing I want to really thank everyone who worked so hard to make this happen. And we are so excited about to have you guys here in Taipei and experience Taipei, and we'll do our best in partnership with GVB to promote Guam in Taipei and make sure this flight will be successful.
We're really here to celebrate a very momentous occasion for the people of Guam, the people of Taiwan. This connectivity is really going to help us to maintain that cultural exchange, the economic growth, and tourism. There's a ton of things for our local folks to do when they come and visit Taipei. The people are warm and super friendly, which is what we're used to in Guam. The food is incredible, but there's just a ton of things for you all to do. We really want to work with our partners in United to make sure we're filling the planes both ways. I just really want to thank you so much for taking the time. I want to thank your organizations for helping us to make this all happen and for getting you all here. Huge thanks to our partners, United Airlines, and to our Taiwan office. And we just hope you have a really wonderful time.
And while we filled up on lunch before heading out for the rest of the day, we got the chance to pick their brains about all the opportunities this opens up. Paramount among them is medical tourism.
Philippines or Hawaii are the destinations for medical tourism. You all will be meeting with, I think, the Adventist Hospital later today. So being able to kind of discover that and encourage folks to consider that as an additional option.
In between discussions of how economically and medically advantageous this relationship will be, conversations surrounding cultural connectivity sprouted as well. Taiwan Sales General Manager at United, Brenda Tang, shared a DNA study that links the ancient Chamorro people with indigenous Taiwanese tribes, and later in the trip we'll actually get to witness that history for ourselves. With our stomachs full, the group hopped back in the vans to the Taiwan Adventist Hospital. There, the hospital's board gave a presentation on its history and the wide range of services they provide. During the Q&A portion, KUAM asked about their telemedicine opportunities.
Are there any advanced medical technology initiatives such as telemedicine that would benefit remote island locations such as Guam that you offer here?
The director of their orthopedic department gave us an example of how their telemedicine process works.
If they want to get some the heart examinations or get some surgery, and while the Dr. is still not very well control the patient's glucose level, and we can send to our hospital to get the total treat. And another case from the Palau, they treat with the orthopedics, get the surgeon of the bone, and also they come here for the heart examinations.
This hospital has everything that you could need if you're seeking medical treatment. One of the resources is a sports center and also an IVF treatment center, specifically dedicated IVF treatment center with a success rate of over 50%.
For those who are considering medical tourism but are worrying about getting high quality care or navigating a possible language barrier, the hospital's International Priority Care Center has you covered. Opened in 1989, the center offers a full range of hospital services by a multilingual staff. In addition to addressing all of your medical needs, they also assist with visa preparations, ticketing, hotel reservations, and other travel necessities.
Want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus as Vision Express, fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on
After our meeting with the hospital, we then went on a little side quest to do more exploring before dinner, walking and taking the metro to visit the Dadaocheng neighborhood. There, we walked down Dihua Street, the oldest street in Taipei. This is the site of the original pioneer settlement, and it definitely shows in the European-inspired facades on the buildings. This neighborhood is also adjacent to the Tamsui River, which was the center for trade by the 1890s. There are tons of food stalls, traditional medicine shops, cafes, and a visitor center where you can learn more about the area and even rent out retro costumes to really get into the energy of this neighborhood frozen in time. To round out a jam-packed first day in Taipei, we had dinner at the world-renowned Taiwanese restaurant Din Tai Fung. Maybe you've heard of their famous xiaolong bao, also known as soup dumplings, or their shrimp and pork xiao mai. Either way, a stop or two at this award-winning restaurant is a must. We ordered nearly everything on the menu to make sure we got a taste of their refined, yet comforting dishes. And it's safe to say that we got a good night's rest after. We're already off to the start of our second day. We're heading up into the mountains to Wulai, the Council of Indigenous People, and we're going to be riding some gondolas, so I can't wait to take you all with us. As we left Taipei City behind us, we ventured into the mountains surrounding it, and I highly recommend you do the same on your trip here. As much as there is to see and do in the city, it was nice to get away from the hustle and bustle. So we're on our way to Wulai. We're in the mountains already, and we stopped by to look at this beautiful waterfall on our way. Following winding roads, we finally made it to the Ataya village. We just visited the Ataya tribe and we went through a traditional blessing. It was really cool and interesting to see the similarities in our cultures, and we're going to take you along for the rest of our tour. After the blessing ceremony, a teacher from the Trenin Kwazan Biro Experimental Elementary School gave us a tour of the village. Pointing to each plant we passed by and every flower we smelled, she shared their names, purposes, and the tribe's continued tradition of self-sustainability. Walking past their orchards, we also spotted a few familiar fruits and vegetables like guava, papaya, taro, eggplant, and more. With a school population of only 18 students, their curriculum covers all the core subjects, but it also has a strong focus on keeping the Ataya culture alive through language, culinary, foraging, art, and architecture studies, similar to what Harao does on Guam. We even got to try our hands at archery. One thing that really made an impression on me as we walked through the village and spoke with locals was how proud they were of their culture. Each person we interacted with spoke so passionately about every part of the Ataya culture, from their hunting traditions to the little plants that brushed our legs as we walked down the one main road in the village. Similar to the Chamorro people, the indigenous people and tribes of Taiwan have come so far in terms of reclaiming their cultures and traditions. So practicing as much of their culture as they can in these modern times and speaking about their culture not as a distant world that was taken away from them, but as a force that constantly surrounds them was extremely inspiring. Before making our way down the mountain, the Council of Indigenous Peoples hosted us for lunch at a local restaurant, and Taiwanese home-style cooking was on the menu. And the next thing we knew, we were back in the city and taking a gondola back up another mountain. So now we're in the Malcolm Tea District up in the mountains of central Taipei. It's really romantic. You can come here with your family or you can come here with your significant other through the cable cars. It's a really great ride and a great way to see the city. So make sure you add it to your list when you come to Taipei. Now we're here at the Laohe Street Night Market and we're gonna go try some traditional Taiwanese food. According to our guide Aiden, usually the market isn't this crowded. However, we just so happened to arrive in Taiwan as the tomb sweeping holiday began. So many families were out enjoying their 4-day weekend, these delicacies, and the cool night air alongside us. Walking through the market, all kinds of sights, sounds, and aromas enticed us to keep exploring the games, buskers, and of course, restaurants and food stalls. Some of the things we recommend you try are braised beef bone soup and chou tofu, also known as stinky tofu, but don't let that scare you. Embrace the adventure and try something new.
At the heart of Guam, there's one place where everyone comes together. Kmart, your American superstore, celebrating 30 years with you. To our brave service members, enjoy a special military discount every day as our thanks. To our local community, we've grown with you, bringing trusted brands at prices you love. This season, celebrate with us. From fiestas to family gatherings, we're your one-stop shop. Since 1995, we've grown with you. Here's to 30 years of memories, savings, and the spirit of Guam. Kmart, where everyone is family.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
It's another beautiful day here in the city, and I just have to say that Taiwan has everything. Whether you're looking to relax at their famous hot springs, do some shopping, or if you're a history buff like me and want to do some exploring at a museum, today we actually got to do that, and we visited the National Palace Museum here in Taipei. This world-class museum houses an eclectic collection of treasures kept by generations of emperors from the Forbidden City, and the museum itself is actually designed in the style of a northern Chinese palace. It houses hundreds of thousands of historical relics that make up the world's most comprehensive collection of ancient Chinese artifacts covering over 5,000 years of China's history. The museum also provides Chinese, English, French, German, Japanese, Spanish, and Korean language guides and literature to help you along your way. One of the coolest things we got to see at the museum was their extensive jade collection. Before going through the exhibit, I had no idea that jade serves so many purposes such as protection, luck, and to worship.
This jade at least 4,000 years old. Chinese people, we use jade to worship sky, to worship earth. Chinese people, we consider jade is an item that can protect you, prevent for the evil.
Like I said, if you're a history buff or just an art lover in general, you definitely don't want to miss a visit here. You could easily spend an entire day here going through all the exhibits with their on-site cafes and restaurants to keep you fueled. After going through the main exhibits and doing some damage at the gift shop, we decided it was time for lunch. And you know we couldn't leave Taiwan without having some hot pot. Lucky for us, the restaurant we sat down in was all you can eat. So we just finished up at the museum, and now we're having some lunch. We're having some hot pot, and there's spicy and not spicy. There's beef, there's seafood, all kinds of things, all kinds of vegetables. So let's try it. I personally like the beef the best, and I like spicy. Very hot. Here's the sauce that I made. But before we ate, and as the broth heated up, we all visited the sauce station where we created our own dipping sauces. There was also a drink station that had everything from iced tea to coffee and slushies. And to cleanse the palate, if your stomach isn't completely full at this point in the meal, they had an ice cream bar and a cold stone station with unique flavors like oolong milk tea with boba. This was definitely one of our favorite meals we had during the whole trip. It gave us a chance to sit down, take our time, and talk about how excited we are for all of you to visit the island yourselves. Now I'm reporting to you from the top of one of the tallest buildings in the world, Taipei 101, and it once held the record for being the tallest building in the world from 2004 to 2009. Take a look at the view. The building itself has 101 floors, hence the name Taipei 101. It's a multi-purpose building housing office spaces, even a luxury shopping mall, and restaurants. It also features high-speed elevators that took us all the way up to the observation deck, and of course we brought you along for the ride and for the view. So a little bit about the shape of the building. The building's design is a unique blend of traditional and modern aesthetics. It's shaped like a towering bamboo stalk and features 8 pagoda-like sections with 8 floors each. Each section represents luck, prosperity, and longevity. So now that you know a little bit more about this iconic skyscraper, it's your turn to come to Taipei and visit it yourself. And what a treat, our hotel is right next door to Taipei 101. All we had to do was take the sky bridge that connects the two buildings, and we were there.
You don't always set out to be a rock star, but when the spotlight finds you, you become one anyway.
Come on.
Check it out.
He showed up with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza and his A game, slicing through the lane, feeding the post. Best delivery guy ever, Peter Zahut. The Cheesy Bites Pizza and new Ranch Lovers Flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
Now we've been pretty busy up until this point, so let's take some time to ourselves to do a little shopping. Luckily, our hotel is located in the heart of the Xinyi shopping district. Here you can find everything from high-end luxury to the everyday shopping spots like Uniqlo, Zara, and H&M. I decided to do some shopping on my own, picking up some new shoes for myself and my mom, and while walking around, I was pleasantly surprised at how safe I felt on my own. And actually, Taipei is considered one of the safest cities in the world. Everyone was just going about their days and enjoying the warm weather after a week of rain. And after all that shopping, we were starting to get hungry. Again. So we piled back in the vans to head over to another night market for our last dinner in Taipei. So now we're rounding out our day at the Shilin night market. As you can see, there are a lot of locals walking around getting their dinner, so we're gonna go get some dinner too. Not only was there a ton of food stalls to try, all of them putting their own twist on Taiwanese classics, but there were also souvenir shops and games to play. The atmosphere here was so lively and exciting. So here we have some spicy pork buns, let's try it. As it was our final night in Taipei, while we walked, ate, and shopped, I kept thinking about how I wish I could spend more time here. I was also thinking about how I would love to come back with my family. During this trip, I've been able to get a pretty good lay of the land in the city, but there's so much more of Taiwan to see and so many fun, family-friendly outdoor activities to experience. A few of the things that I will definitely be doing on my next trip here is exploring the hiking trails, going river trekking, and paragliding. Unfortunately, it looks like that's the end of our trip here in Taipei. I had so much fun bringing you all along with us, and we've got the full details for you on our website, KUAM.com, and visit united.com as well. For now, that's all for this episode of The Hub. I'm Neve Anderson.